Hi, this is Chuck Oliver. Welcome to this week's Hidden Wealth Solution Insight. The number one thing I'm asked is how in the world do you really eliminate the IRS out of your retirement? In other words, I like to say getting the IRS out of your IRAs or getting the government out of your 401ks. And I really want to make this a added effort to teach you because I think the clients by the name of Frank and Beth, they were really taken back. In fact, they were naysayers. Look, I watched your educational webinar because I wanted to really understand these tax laws that protect taxation on the growth of our retirement savings, the distribution of that retirement savings, and then eventually the transfer of that retirement savings. And it's what I write about in my books, that taxes are the greatest threat to someone's retirement. And here's why this is so important. You see, you can't have a tax-free account and roll over money from accounts that are tax deferred. Two totally different tax treatments. However, a strategic rollover rollout, which is a hidden wealth strategy we've been using now for over 20 years, is what enables somebody to indirectly get the government out of their IRAs by rolling over. So in other words, there's two accounts. So you're using the same dollar to generate two different retirement incomes is one of my favorite hidden wealth strategies that I just taught them. And the first thing you do is you roll over your 401k or IRA, no tax on the rollover. And it goes into an account that enables you then to roll out without penalty into a tax-free account, but we have to address the taxation on that transfer. And that's how we use special sections of the tax code that enable us legally, ethically, and morally to pay the tax not out of our own pocket, to actually eliminate the IRS from ever being involved in your IRAs again, because the IRA goes to a tax-free account. In essence, it's what I'm writing about in one of my new books, how easy it is to become a tax-free retiree. The key is addressing these things, if you can, before you retire. But if those of you watching are already retired, the key is to not continue to defer these IRA accounts, because what you're going to do is you're going to postpone the tax to a point of when the tax man is going to want to collect a higher percentage, because we have two presidential candidates that have already talked about raising taxes, whether they say on the middle class or not. Tax rates are going up on everybody. But worse than that are the taxes that we'll find from capital gains, estate tax, known as death tax, the elimination of the stretch IRA, and what many of you have shared, the concern of, if you're already paying them or you're facing them, the tax on the required minimum distributions. So let's recap. No required minimum distributions, because no longer is the IRS in your IRAs, because you no longer have IRAs. You've become a tax-free retiree. Many of you have asked, well, can I roll over my retirement plan or the other retirement plans that I've had that I've rolled over if you're already retired? Do you have solutions where you can roll that over and there's no tax, and I can have the upside opportunity only when there's market gains without any downside exposure when there's market losses? The answer is yes. And then we then teach people how to roll over and out to become a tax-free retiree, where zero tax from that day forward on the growth of that retirement savings, as well as the distribution of that retirement savings, and even the ability to transfer that money to your children, your church, or your charities without any tax. Folks, let me teach you. Go to retirementprotected.com. That's retirementprotected.com, but you've got to register now. In fact, for registering, I want to gift you my most recent video book, which is the 7 Steps to a Tax-Free Retirement. On top of that, if you prefer, you can register by calling 855-668-2928. That's 855-668-2928, or go to retirementprotected.com. These spaces fill up. It's a no cost, no obligation educational webinar I'll be teaching this Tuesday, and they fill up quickly. And I welcome your questions. We had really good questions this last week, especially after this dismal employment number that came in way lower than expectations, which is proving that rates aren't going to go up on safe savings. So you're going to have to create your own safe savings, and that the Fed doesn't know what they're doing, which means somewhere negative interest rates are even being thrown around to try to stimulate this economy, because the basics aren't working. Folks, that means the economy is struggling, which means the market will be crumbling, and the time to act is now. Here's to you finding your hidden wealth solutions.